Coming up on an all-new episode of B to the Third Power. The founders of Black to Life are in the house, sharing with us all about their organization and nationwide community initiatives. Then, intellectual property lawyer Kyana Robinson returns, reminding us on how we can protect our creative works in this new year. An all-new episode starts now. Welcome to B to the Third Power here on Urban Style Media. Hey, Sherri.
Hey, girl.
What's going on, boo?
How are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
But I'm a little sad.
Well, what?
You
I
already
know.
Why am I sad?
Because G3 is not in the house with us today.
No.
Yes.
We miss you and we love you, G3.
G3 is doing big things.
Isn't he?
Yes.
So as you guys may
Exciting.
remember, G3 is out today because he is over in Alaska doing the doggone thing.
Yes.
He even picked up a gig while he was there.
In Alaska, and then he'll be heading to Atlanta.
Yes, but he's coming back here first.
Big things.
Listen, I don't care what you do over there. Don't take no more gigs. We need to see you next week.
Right.
You remember that.
You need to be here next Monday.
Next Monday.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let these folks know that you are booked on Mondays.
Every
Hello?
Monday. But we do miss you. We are so proud of you, and we're glad that you're having an amazing time.
Definitely.
And we can't wait to hear all about it when you come back.
Exactly.
But until then,
It's
let's
time
catch
to
up.
catch up.
Yes.
It's time to catch up.
So what was your amazing events that happened since we've been gone? Oh, wait, I can't sing that.
Okay, so I always have to think about this. That's age catching up with you. So what did I do this weekend?
I'm going to prescribe you some ginkgo biloba.
I don't have a problem with that because totally.
Every week, she doesn't remember what she did.
Don't even ask me what I wore yesterday.
Did you say wore tomorrow?
Wore tomorrow, yesterday, Thursday,
Somebody
Tuesday.
please give me some ginkgo biloba stats. Oh,
but,
my goodness.
Sunday, I rested.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, I believe I was really busy. I really honestly
Is that why you
don't
can't remember what you did?
I was all over the place.
Okay.
I really was. I had my I remember I was having my women's ministry meeting, and I posted this on Facebook. I think most of you may have seen it. I got on 50. I was heading to Silver Spring. I got on 50 I got on 495 at the 50 exit.
Okay.
And it was moving really slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is going on? It's another accident. What the heck is going on? Crazy, right? I'm already running late. You know how I am. And come to find out, it was a funeral. And this funeral, guys, was massive. I mean, it stretched from the 50 exit all the way to New Hampshire Avenue.
Wow.
And they had big rigs, and whoever passed away, they had draped his truck, his semi, in black.
Wow.
And it was just really, really, it took me back for a minute. I actually got really emotional on the Beltway, seeing how much he was loved.
Yeah.
Like, he was truly loved. The people, the out-of-state tags that I saw.
And I was going to say that for him to be a trucker, imagine how many lives
It was
he's encountered.
crazy. It was New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Florida. It was so many tags and so many people. And all I could do in that moment was pray. All I could do was to pray for the families, pray for everybody, even on the Beltway in the process, because people are trying to avoid them, and people are, you know, trying not to cut them off. And so, you know, it was really moving, and I'm such a crybaby, and yeah.
It's okay. But at least you thought of the family.
I did, yes. You have to pray for, you know, my grandmother and my mom, when funerals used to come through, you turned your radio down, and as they rolled by, or you pulled to the side to let them go.
And that's true.
And they don't do that anymore.
Because even when I was coming up, and even, well, I'm from, you know, as you know, I'm from West Virginia, but even there, it's still that same courtesy where if a funeral procession is coming, you don't just like, oh, I'm going to go around them. Most people pull over and they wait for them to go back to pay respects.
Yeah.
And no, it's not the same courtesy today, because
and I understand
everyone
that,
has business.
And I understand that this one was quite long, so people were trying to like get onto the Beltway, but they would move through, you know, but at the same time you're cutting them off. But people were really trying, but yeah, it was, but that I ended my post with the dash. And I always talk to people about the importance of the dash.
Right.
And the dash is our present, and that's what we've been given, right? And what are we going to do with that?
Exactly.
Right? I don't know how it's going to happen. I say this all the time. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm just going to continue to do my part.
Right.
And in doing my part, I pray that that is my dash.
Yeah.
So that when anything, or if anything happens, when it does happen, you know, people turn out in love and support, and for my family, the same way that they turned out in support and love for them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's what I did. But I had a wonderful Sunday, and I sat on the big red couch and just did nothing. And, you know, that's not like me.
It is actually like you lately.
Lately. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because for the longest time that was not like you. You were running yourself ragged, and you were tired, and you were back and forth to the doctor. And the one thing that I have not been hearing you complain about is your health. So I'm not complaining about you sitting on the big red couch.
I know I have to find some things to do. But how was your weekend?
My weekend was amazing. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's like amazing. So we traveled over the weekend to spend some time for that very reason. You were talking about funerals. We've had a lot of death in our family recently in the last 6 months, and my cousins and I decided that we were tired of always seeing each other at funerals.
Yeah.
And so we got together, and one of my cousins up in Delaware hosted the family, and just the cousins came, got together, and we had a good time laughing, reminiscing, telling truths, listening to other people tell lies.
Tell a little bit of lies.
You know which one that is, cousins. But we had an amazing time, and of course we had family game night. That seems to be my running theme lately, is family game night. And it got competitive and funny and crazy, but I just had fun just being present and just enjoying my family, something that we haven't done in a very long time, and that's what made it amazing. Just spending time with family and completely just enjoying each other.
I love that, because it seems to be the norm now to only see family when there's a death, or only see family when there's a wedding.
And it's crazy, because that's what my son said. He was like, "Mommy, did somebody die?" I was like, "No." Is it a family reunion? No. We just getting together. Oh, because it's like every time we go, it's a funeral or a family reunion. So I was like, no, we're just going to have fun. So that's what we did.
That sounds good.
And I had a blast.
I know that's right.
But honey, guess what? You're about to have a blast too, because we have some amazing guests in store for you guys tonight. I am super excited. Sherri's
super. If you're super excited, then I'm super duper.
There you go. Sherri's super duper excited, because we have two of the founding members of Black to Life and our wonderful, wonderful intellectual property lawyer, Miss Kyana Robinson, coming to join us.
Yes.
But you know what we have to do before we get there? We got to take a quick break. But on the other side of this break, we will be coming back with some amazing community information, ways that you guys can join in the fun in impacting our community. But you know what to do. Get your snack. Go and get that
healthy snack.
Oh, she said it for me. Go and get their water or whatever your beverage of choice is. Make sure you come right back. This is B to the Third Power here on Urban Style Media. Global Executive Staffing provides top-level executive staffing to federal and private sector companies globally at the most competitive price. They are experts in coordinating and expediting projects from design to development. Global Executive Staffing is a Department of Veterans Affairs, Center for Veterans, certified service-disabled veteran-owned small business. To connect with Global Executive Staffing, go to www.gestaff.com.
My name is Denzel Bennett, CEO of Urban Style Media. I started this entity to give nonprofits, small businesses, an opportunity to display their gift in giving people the ability to live their dream. People that wanted to make a difference in the community oftentimes didn't have a platform, whatever's in their heart, whatever they want to do from a media standpoint, in terms of directors, producers, musicians. We want to allow everyone to have a conduit to display their craft. Currently we have 7 shows. The collaboration aspect of our platform is expanding every day. We encourage people to go for their dreams. And so in order to feed the community, we need to expand our base. And expanding our base, we want to allow more people to have an opportunity to come on air to talk about their initiatives. We've been open approximately 5 months, and in that time span, people have shown up willing to serve. It's been beyond my wildest expectations. The people that have shown up have been dedicated, have gone beyond and above the call of duty. We're going to continue to pursue community objectives and initiatives. We want to be a staple in the community. Our slogan is, imagine us. So imagine us being there for you and your dreams to help us serve the community in the best way possible from a media standpoint.
Welcome back to B to the Third Power here on Urban Style Media. You know the great thing about live TV? We have bloopers and moments where we may have technical difficulties or we come back a little faster than we expect. But guess what? That's life and it makes life fun. So, welcome on back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
We're here.
on back. Yes, we are.
Glad to see you.
And I'm excited to have with us tonight 2 of the founding members of the Black to Life movement. That's what I'm going to call it. Y'all okay with that?
We appreciate that. We received that.
Yes, the Black to Life movement. We have with us in the studio Mr. Aze and Emem. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
us. Absolutely. You know, I have been bragging about you guys since we shared a farmer's market together.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the amazing things that I was telling Sherri was I looked at the table next to me. It was a table full of books. And I was like, wow, okay, how much are the books? Mm-hmm. And they were like, they're free. I said, free? They said, yeah, take as many as you want. We want to make sure that you have enough books for your kids to read. And I was like floored. I said, we have got to get them on this show. And here they are. Mm-hmm. So to get us started, Black in Black to Life stands for what?
I'll let you take that.
All right, so Black to Life actually stands for Bringing Love and Conscious Knowledge to Life. We derived that from the movement we wanted to portray to ourselves internally and also people outwardly looking at us. So a lot has been going on in the media as of late, and everyone can see there's been a struggle with the media and Black personalities, especially Black males. So the purpose of our movement, as you like to put it, was a way to, number one, introspectively look at ourselves as Black males and find a way for us to give back to the community. We've seen a lot of Black women, thank you for taking up on our behalf and standing up for us, so we wanted to stand up for ourselves. And then the second part was also to find a way to give back and show some positive role model and reinforcements to the community.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Listen to all that. That was some yummy goodness, as I say. Yummy goodness. Did you digest all of that?
Because the only thing that they cannot take from us is our knowledge, right? You can't take that away.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
Now, how did you guys get started?
Well, so we're a board of 5. We're heavy here in the DMV area, but also Dallas is actually, we started out at Dallas. So their chairman is Michael Merriweather, and he actually founded the organization. He had another one prior to that was kind of similar, but basically he just wanted one day to give out books in his community. In South Dallas, which is much like Southeast DC, you could say, as far as the demographics. Him and a couple buddies grabbed some books and literally just went to a parking lot and just gave out books to kids. And then that's the day that he said, okay, I got to do it on a bigger level. I got to formalize this organization, and that's how Black to Life was born in 2017.
Love it, love it. So, in doing that, I know that you're expanding as well. So tell us a little bit about some of your efforts to expand. You've already expanded, obviously, from Dallas to now DC. What other areas have you expanded to, and are you looking to expand to?
Yeah, I believe we've actually done events now in about 12 states, different cities across Texas, Florida, Atlanta. We've done some events, of course, Maryland, Virginia, and DC, New York, Cleveland, L.A. Anywhere that you want to spring up, anybody who gets in contact with us, we kind of give them the blueprint of what we do and how we do it, and it's really not that hard. You just need a small team of like 3 to 5 guys, maybe. You could have 2 guys. One guy could maybe do it, but you just need a couple guys, and you need some books, a tablecloth, and some T-shirts, and the willingness to give out books to the community, to reach kids where they are. That's pretty much it.
I was going to say, that simple.
Just that easy.
Yeah, it's
Just
really
that easy. So gentlemen that are out there that want to impact your communities positively and to help, yes, I call it a movement, help this movement expand, please be sure to reach out to Black to Life, because we need this in our communities. Because, I mean, looking at the fact that, one, you give out free books, but you give out an array. It's not just one genre. Like, there are some old classics that you have. There are some new books that you had. And I was like, wow, it's different levels. It's something for everybody. And I really like that. Like, there were some classics that I'm like, man, I thought you would have to deep dive for this book.
Right.
But no, it was right there given away for free.
There's a lot of times that we see parents and they're like, I read that book,
Yes.
And, they're excited. Their kids are like, I don't know that book. But, you take that book and they go home and they read it together, and that's a good activity just for the family to do at bedtime or anytime during the day. So, I mean, that's the type of thing that we want to kind of carry back into the homes and then back into the community to make reading cool.
Yeah.
And reading is fundamental in everything you're going to do later on in life.
Requires you to be able to read.
And one of the other parts of our organization is battling against the, I guess, the over-imprisonment that we have in the Black community. So
Right.
a lot of times the people who end up in prison are not reading at the level that they're supposed to. And you can follow that back to high school, to middle school. They usually on some level they fell behind as far as their reading proficiency.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that we try to keep people on pace, so that they're not in the classroom, not understanding what the teacher is cutting up, and it's just a slippery slope from there.
And that has been a big topic. You talk about that a lot.
prison pipeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's a reason why we started our baseline with just giving out books, because that school to prison pipeline was actually real. We've done research on it. We've read up on it, and that was one of the first places that we thought we can tackle and make an impact in the community. So we started with that movement, and graciously everyone kind of accepted that movement. And now we've actually grown into doing other things within the community, such as AZA helping out with financial literacy. We've been able to give out 15 scholarships to teachers who are helping out in the classrooms. If one thing that people don't realize is that with the new tax law, you can't write off certain things for teachers. So we're going to be able to provide funding for that. And the other statistics that people don't realize is within the classroom, especially for Black males, 1 to 2% of Black males are teachers. So we want to encourage them to get into the educational system. So we're providing college scholarships to those who are going into education.
Love it.
Yeah, we had 2 this past year, and we hope to grow that initiative to maybe 4 or 5 in the next coming year, just depending on funding. But that was one of the things that we really had to do. I remember that the first Black teacher I ever had was in middle school. I don't know about you guys, if you recall your first Black male teacher. That was middle school, and that was the first time that you really envision oh, like being a teacher can be cool. Like I never conceptualized that in my in my upbringing.
I was going to say.
My first male Black teacher was 4th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. I had one in elementary, but you're right. As I progressed on, I saw more and more Black male teachers, but in the early stages, it wasn't that many. I don't recall that many. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. You guys have so many phenomenal things that you're doing. Like, I love how you're expanding, and that's why I said it's a movement. It is truly a movement. Like, I'm sitting here now, even though I know some of it, I'm like, man, there's still so much more to it. Like the teacher scholarships and stuff. Sherri and I talk about that at the beginning of school year every year, about how teachers don't always have what they need to even educate our kids, to keep them engaged and to make them want to learn, to engage them to want to learn. And so,
my daughter just started teaching.
Okay.
She's a 1st grade teacher, and I'm actually going down in a couple weeks, because you're right, they don't have enough things to be creative, to be able to reach some of the children that are not maybe falling behind. And guess what happens? They get bored because they're falling behind. They know they're falling behind, and the teachers don't have enough resources to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
So her and I went on Amazon and out of our own pockets and purchase things.
Happens all the time.
All the time.
Happens all the time.
To help her to be able to get to the 1st graders before they get lost.
Right. And uninterested.
Right.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, we did a little survey actually before we came up with the actual teacher grant to see, and we just threw it out to the teachers that we know through Facebook and all of us, and we just asked them, like, how much do you guys come out of pocket in a year? And we had sums of a couple hundreds. Some people saying, like, I put out like $1,000. You're like, what? So a lot of teachers who are underpaid to start with are coming out of pocket to just to have the basic necessities in their own classrooms, because maybe their public school system is underfunded, or and they're trying to do the best they can.
They are.
Given the circumstances.
They really are.
Just a small token of appreciation for them.
I truly applaud you guys for doing what you're doing. Do you go inside of the school systems at all?
We do. We're both fathers, so we're fathers of a 2- and 3-year-old, but we go to their schools and we read to them, and we the teachers that we know, we reach out to them as well and say, can we come to your classroom and just read a book or two, talk to the kids, that sort of thing. I think it's a positive thing to see. We call it, just black role models. Certain kids might not have that at home. They might not have a dad. They might not have an uncle or grandfather or uncle or anything to kind of look up to. So we want to read to them, but then if they just want to ask us questions, what do you do? And
it's a two-way system. I mean, we participated in a program within Prince George's County the last couple of years. It's called DAP Day, and it's the first day of school, and it's black males and anyone who wants to participate. We welcome the students back into the schools, and they're just, you're in high school. This is kind of corny, but we pump them up and give them high fives, but we want them to understand, like, hey, let's get into it. I know if I was walking through the door being like, oh, okay, after a while, guys with different professions, whether you're within finance, whether you're in IT, whether you're in a lawyer, a doctor, we're taking time out of our day to welcome you back in school to encourage our own community. And plus, what we did over the summertime, myself and AJ in DC, and then Kenny, Jelani, and Mike down in Dallas, is that we go into the classrooms and we sit and we help them with whether it's summer school homework or whatever they're dealing with. It takes you back because then you're starting to try to remember how do you do math.
Right, exactly.
And some stuff.
I was about to say, the math they do now, I'm like, can I get a tutor? I need a tutor.
But
as a matter of fact, I'm just going to email the teacher and let her know that we don't get this. We don't get it.
I've done that. I've literally done it. I've sent the message to the teacher and said, can you show me how to do this? So I understand.
Exactly.
I showed them the old way. So
you got the right answer.
We got the right answer.
But we didn't get there the same way, and they're insistent that you said do it that way.
Right.
Yeah, no, we understand. Yeah.
It's a two-way street. It makes us feel good that we're, giving back to the community, and then we're providing some mentorship to these little kids.
Yes.
And once again, when they look up, they want to see someone that looks like them. And don't get me wrong, our focus is not only on our community, which is African American, any impoverished or underserved community. So if you happen to be Caucasian and live in this community, or Indian or Hispanic, we're still going to reach out to you, and we want to help you out. So we want to target those communities. It just seems that the majority of the time we walk in the community, they look like us.
Yes.
And I right.
Yeah, you're not going to catch us in the upper Northwest. There's nothing for us up there. We're going to be
East of the river.
Where the need is. Right.
Nobody gonna
just saying, we're not going to do it.
No, but we get it. You're making sure that those who are in need get the help that they need. Because you're right. There are already people that are taking care of the other side of the river.
And I just wish others were as passionate about this as we are, or as involved. Even just to be involved with your own child. Just do some pop-ups.
Right.
Take a day off and just volunteer.
Yes.
Like, why is it so hard to get parents to get involved? I've just never understood. Just take a day. Well, I don't get paid. Okay, it's one day. I'm just telling you, one day.
One day, take half the day.
Take half the day, the morning, whatever. Maybe just show up for lunch. But if you show your children that you're genuinely interested, then they'll
give an honest effort.
But it just amazes me that people aren't as involved as they should be.
And we try to include them as much as possible. And one good thing is once we reach out to the kids, there's a connection to the parents. And then we can start talking with the parents, because now it's more so, hey, you ever think about buying a house? What does your credit score look like? Those topics that within our community we don't talk about much, and no one really reaches out, like, how do you invest in the stock market?
We don't talk about money nearly as much. And I'll say this, being from Maryland, I know, and I'm a financial coach, I know what's going on in Maryland. And there's some good things that are going on in Maryland that we collectively are not taking advantage of. They have this thing called a 529 plan for college savings, basically. And if you save in this plan, the state will actually put a grant side to side with your money in the sum of $250 to $500 every year towards your kid's college plan. If your kid,
twins.
If your kid, well,
you needed that.
You definitely need that. But if your kid is, 4 years old, do you know how much $500 is by the time they go to college? It's a couple $1,000 you've invested with.
Compound interest.
Compound interest.
And if you're not listening to anybody,
so I'll come back and we can expand on
We
that. But
want you to come back and talk about these things.
you're absolutely missing out on money that's been
Right.
put to the side that it's your tax dollars being returned to you,
And you have no idea about it.
and you have no idea
Because
about it.
you just had twins. That's
And they both-
one is still in, and one is
just
graduated.
last year, and the other one's graduated.
And you had
this
no
year.
idea.
And I don't even want to talk to you about
Exactly,
that.
and it was not.
That's
If the one that's
just
still in, it's not too
ridiculous.
late to get a couple.
Never
dollars.
too late.
It's never too late.
Graduates in May.
Oh, might be a little late.
Well, congrats. You're still standing.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Right. But before we go, because I'm telling you, this conversation can go on all evening. But before we go, how can people, A, get involved? We wanted your contact information. If there are gentlemen that want to step up to the plate and say, hey, I want to start this in my community. And note, you don't have to be just in the DMV or Dallas area.
Any area.
Right.
Any area.
I said it's a movement, y'all.
Any area.
A movement. That means if you're in Atlanta or if you're in New York, they're looking for people that want to take up the mantle in those areas and run with this.
That's right.
To keep the movement going, to educate our children, help them get the fundamentals. So we want to know how they can get in contact with you for that. And then how can they make donations? Because I'm sure you guys need as many books as you give out. You can use all the donations that you can get. How can people get in touch with you to donate books for the literacy program?
So you can reach out to us on our Facebook page. It's called Black to Life. You can also reach out to us on Instagram, also under the moniker of Black to Life, for donations. And as a very good point, we actually want to thank our own community within all our states. All our funding has been grassroots. Majority of it has come through people such as yourselves, and whether it's a donation of $5, $50, $100, we take it all and we fundraise it through Facebook. We take it through PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, you name it, Cash App.
That's called multiple streams, multiple ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't leave out anyway.
No stone left unturned. So
That's
we use
it right
that
there.
we use that to reach out to our community to raise it as much as possible. And every dollar that is raised, we put it right back in the community. And from the dollars that we have already raised, we've been able to give over 50,000 books to the community so far in over 12 states, like you said, up to almost 15 to 20 cities. So in any city or any state, it's open to do this. So to become an ambassador, you can reach out to us at our email address, I believe.
Yeah, info@black2life.org, or our website is actually www.black2life.org.
Awesome.
Important information, people. We're bridging gaps here today. We're doing everything. We're being intentional. We're bridging the gaps, and we're building community.
Amen.
Make sure y'all take this information. This is a powerful movement and organization. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so grateful for you all. Let me say that, and thank you for the work that you do in our communities to help our babies, because they need it.
Definitely.
They need it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us. We really appreciate what you guys are doing in the community, and we want to continue to support as much as you can.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
That was awesome.
I know. So
Yeah. You know I'm all for the educating the babies.
yes.
I love it.
And now what do we have to do?
We have to take a quick break. So I'm not going to say go get your healthy snacks.
No.
But I'm going to say we'll be right back here on Urban Style Media.
You refuse to say healthy snacks.
'Cause
You
I
wanted
really,
to say
really
cookies,
would rather
didn't you?
say like or.
Global Executive Staffing provides top-level executive staffing to federal and private sector companies globally at the most competitive price. They are experts in coordinating and expediting projects from design to development. Global Executive Staffing is a Department of Veterans Affairs
Center for Veterans, certified service disabled veteran-owned small business. To connect with Global Executive Staffing, go to www.gestaff.com.
My name is Denzel Bennett, CEO of Urban Style Media. I started this entity to give nonprofits, small businesses, an opportunity to display their gift in giving people the ability to live their dreams. People that wanted to make a difference in the community oftentimes didn't have a platform, whatever's in their heart, whatever they want to do from a media standpoint in terms of directors, producers, musicians. We want to allow everyone to have a conduit to display their craft. Currently we have 7 shows. The collaboration aspect of our platform is expanding every day. We encourage people to go for their dreams. And so in order to feed the community, we need to expand our base. And expanding our base, we want to allow more people to have an opportunity to come on air to talk about their initiatives. We've been open approximately 5 months. And in that time span, people have shown up willing to serve. It's been beyond my wildest expectations. The people that have shown up have been dedicated, have gone beyond and above the call of duty. We're going to continue to pursue community objectives and initiatives. We want to be a staple in the community. Our slogan is, imagine us. So imagine us being there for you and your dreams to help us serve the community in the best way possible from a media standpoint.
Welcome back to B3rdPower, and we are excited because we have our resident, I'm going to say resident, because you need to just go
okay
ahead
with that.
and make this happen
Yes.
and come back reoccurring because the nuggets that you drop is amazing. So
Yes.
our intellectual property lawyer, Kyana Robinson. And the crowd cheers.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you guys today?
Good.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Good to see you back.
Just glad to have you back.
Look at her. She's rocking her red.
She is.
Yes.
She's rocking her red.
As you all know, it's Founders Day for Delta Sigma Theta.
Oh my
so of course I have to have on my red.
My
January
daughter.
13th.
My daughter.
That's what I
Yes,
said.
Delta.
She rocking the red.
Yes, she is rocking the red.
So you gotta wish your daughter Happy Founders Day when you get out of here.
I sure will.
Yes.
I didn't know how. Okay.
But we thought that it was time for you to come on back and grace us with your presence because this is the time of year that everyone is resetting their visions, their goals, their resolutions, and most of the creatives needed a refresher in intellectual property protection. And Sherri was like, yo, T, you need to get with Kyana and tell her it's time for her to come back.
Yes.
So I did what my co-host told me to do.
Thank you very much.
And I got you on back up in here.
And if you haven't gotten your notepad and pen, hurry up.
Get
Go
it out.
Your notepad and pen, because she always drops some really, really
Yes.
pertinent information that you need if you're interested in doing anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, I know that during this time of year, a lot of the people who make things happen and create things, they start to reevaluate and structure their new projects for the year.
Yeah.
So it is important for them to keep their intellectual property in mind, keep their rights in mind, make sure that they're protecting everything that they're doing, their works and all of their creations, and that they're making sure that they are taking the steps that they need to take to make sure that they have everything done that needs to be done in order to capitalize on their creations.
So since we're talking about creations, what are some of those tips and tricks that you have for people that are being creative?
Yes.
Well, one of the things that's come up recently is I've had a lot of people come to me with respect to publishing,
Yes.
with respect to contracts that they have for publishing their books. A lot of people want to self-publish these days and are contracting with these publishing companies that are printing their books and providing their books for providing distribution for their books. And they're not necessarily reading the contracts as closely as possible.
Correct.
So, for example, I had a client that come to me who has a publishing contract and found out that their book was being sold on Walmart.com. And they had never spoken to anyone from Walmart.com about their book. But in their contract, it said that their publishing company could license the right to sell their book to someone else at a discount that they didn't have to approve. So that's one of the biggest things, is making sure that you're reading everything.
Yes.
You always read everything, down to the fine print. I am probably the most annoying purchaser in the history of purchasers, because I read everything. I'm like, okay, what there's a comma here. What does this mean? Yeah. So, but you have to be that way in order to protect your rights. I think one of the other biggest things that have come up is, at this time, this is like you were saying, this is when the creators are creating things.
Yes.
You have to make sure that you go out and you get your copyrights. You go out and you apply for your trademarks. If you're starting a new business this year, you want to make sure that you can use your name. You want to make sure that your name is not being used by someone else.
Yes.
And that you won't be sued after you've already established your brand.
And I was going to
you
say,
can't use it.
let me tell you, she's a stickler. Because when I called and said, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm naming my business, she said, hold on, T. We can run this through the database.
Right.
It's going to take me a few times. She ran it through the first time. She said, well, I didn't see very much the first time. I got a question about this one. I'm going to run it again. I waited a couple of weeks while she is thorough, while she thoroughly ran the database. And now I have my trademark and my name. But that was important. And I'm going to be honest, had I not had her, I would have been like, oh, I didn't see it the first time, and I would have kept moving, and I might have missed something, and that would have given me a headache later on.
Yes, because it's a very important. You would hate to have your products and your whole marketing strategy and everything together, and then someone sends you a cease and desist letter, and now you can't make anything under your name.
Right.
You've established this name. You've established what you plan to do. You have your strategy, your marketing plan. You have everything in order. And now, all of a sudden, you have to stop, put the brakes on it, and possibly rebrand, possibly rename your company, possibly rename your products. So now your client base can no longer go to your products and identify them by name. So it's important to make sure that we go through the trials of finding the information that needs to be found in order to get what we have to get.
And saying that, what are some of those myths that people have heard about, protecting?
Oh, we love the Mythbusters, don't
the
we?
Mythbusters. What are some of those?
There are some myths. Let's start with trademark. We'll go one thing at a time.
Yeah.
We'll start with trademarks. And one of the things that people think about trademarks is, oh, well, if I have a copyright in this picture, then I can use my trademark. I can use it as my trademark. No, copyrights and trademarks are different. Yes, you've drawn the picture and you're using it, but that is as a copyright. The copyright is in the picture. You don't have a trademark to use that in association with your goods. So if there's another name or there's another picture that's similar for similar goods, then you may not be able to use your picture as your trademark for your goods. Yeah. So that's one thing.
Wow.
Another thing is with respect to copyrights, people believe that, okay, if I mail my manuscript to myself, then I can sue anybody who uses my manuscript. Now, in copyrights, once you write it down, once you have the manuscript written out and printed, then you have a copyright in that manuscript. But you cannot sue to recover if someone else violates your copyright.
Can you sue for them to change?
You can't sue
At all,
period.
because you didn't register it to protect it.
So you do have a copyright, but until you register your copyright with the Copyright Office, you don't have any recourse if someone infringes on your copyright.
Okay.
Now I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so for those who are We have a lot of people in the DMV who are screenwriters. There's a lot of independent film companies here that are doing that. I know that when I was looking at doing and operating in that arena, we could register our stuff with the Writers Guild. And they would say register it here because the Copyright Office won't fight for you, but we will. So for those that are writing screenplays and plays and are using the Writers Guild to cover, does that still cover you as much as the Copyright Office will cover you?
I always say go with the Copyright Office.
Okay.
I always say go with the Copyright Office, and the reason I say go with the Copyright Office is because you have it registered under the federal copyright law. The Screenwriters Guild may go after people who infringe, and they may even register your copyright on your behalf. But if you have in hand your own registration, you don't need them to fight for you. You can fight for yourself.
Okay.
And you don't have to wait for them to pick and choose who is worth going after. You can fight for yourself. Okay. I'm all about being independent and being able to fight for your own rights.
So basically register in both places, but make sure that if you do it there, you still get your own copyright.
Absolutely.
Makes good sense.
So can you tell us, is there a process that you should follow when you're trying to get this started or getting your creative mind, whatever your thoughts are down? Is it some way that you start first? Do you start with the copyright, with the patent? Do you start with the trademark? What do you?
Well, each of those is different, and they serve different purposes. So the trademark is generally used to show the source of goods, the source of services, or something like that. So trademarks are generally used for companies who are identifying what their products are. So anything that you all put out under B3rdPower, that would be your trade. You would use that B3rdPower as your trademark to show that you are the source of the services and the goods that are coming out of your company.
Okay.
For a copyright protects the actual creative work itself. So if you're writing a play, if you're writing a poem, if you've written a book, if you create a sculpture, a painting, or something like that, it attaches to the work itself. So the trademark attaches to the source, and the copyright attaches to the work.
Okay.
So you can have, for example, if you write a book under B3rdPower, B3rdPower, when you put that on the back of your book, it'll show that that's the source of the book itself.
Right.
The book has a copyright that keeps someone from being able to copy it or distribute it or do anything, make a derivative work, change a few words and send it out as their own. That is attached to the work.
Okay.
Now the patent is a totally different thing. That's for inventions. Patents go with not necessarily creative works, but things that are tangible that you've actually invented. And the goal of the patent is not to allow you to do something. It is to prevent other people from doing it. So if I create, there was an analogy that one of my professors used to use. If I build a chair, if I invent a chair, and I invent a chair with a back and a bottom, and the next person has already invented a stool with no back, and they have a patent on that stool, I can only get a patent on the things that are new. So maybe the back, which would be in addition to their stool. So that doesn't mean I can make my chair.
Right.
Because I don't have a license from that patent owner to make the bottom part with the legs. So you hold a patent to keep someone from being able to make what you make, but you also get a patent to encourage other people to build upon things.
Okay.
So that's for inventions. It's a little bit separate from the copyright arena, and trademarks can apply to any of it because it tells the source of it.
Okay.
With people being really innovative online, what would that look like? People who want to patent or trademark something that would be electronic.
See the yes, the new digital age and social media.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is beautiful, but it is really a conundrum. And the reason I say that is because you know, everybody wants to share their creative works, and you're sharing it in the digital medium, and all someone has to do is click share or click post or click copy, and you're putting your copyrighted works out there for the world to use. So in the digital arena, you have to be really, really vigilant about protecting your works, because a lot of the especially social media, a lot of the social media websites have in their privacy policies and terms and conditions that whatever you post here, we can use it however we want to use it. And when you hit accept, because you really like Instagram,
and you did not pay attention,
right? You just hit, hey, I just need to click accept. I really like Instagram. I want to use Instagram.
Right.
Now you've allowed them a license to use whatever you're posting there. So you have to be very careful. If you want to protect something, you may not want to post it on your Facebook page. You may not, and I've seen all kinds of posts that say, okay, well, this, if I put a copyright symbol down here, or I say, I don't allow Facebook to use my photos in any way, shape, or form. I know you guys have seen that one.
Yeah.
but that
It
doesn't
doesn't
work.
hold.
It doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't
You
hold
click
water.
that you accepted their
Right.
terms and
Exactly.
conditions.
Okay.
And you're
Already
right.
accepted.
Most people do. Just in general, most people skip over the terms and conditions.
Oh, yeah.
And you get refreshers all the time that says we've updated our terms and conditions.
And you don't
And
look at it.
nobody
Yeah,
looks
look
at it.
at
They
it.
just say, okay, accept. And then,
And now,
then you're not protected.
right, and now your picture of your child on your skateboard can be used however Facebook decides to use it.
Right.
So I mean, you know, it's
I'm like, man,
six in one hand.
that's funny, but not funny.
Yeah.
And it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're putting things out there in the public to be used by the public, and we feel like because we're doing it on our page that we're doing something in private, but we're actually not doing it in private.
Yeah.
Right.
We're doing it amongst the public. All I have to do is right click and copy, and I can send your picture somewhere else. Yes, it may be your picture, and under normal circumstances, if you took the picture and you sat and you printed it out, you'd have a copyright in your photograph. But now you've distributed it on a platform that may have a license to copy it and distribute
So
it.
I hope that our friends on social media world are listening,
Absolutely.
because we see this often. Like you said, we see this often where people are. I know you get on me all the time.
You knew it. You
about-
know I'm looking at you like, so you will
I
keep
know,
posting
you
your
get on me.
poetry, are you?
She gets on me all the time.
I do.
But you know, I hope people are really listening, because you're right. If you're gonna take the time to post it on Facebook, then why not, you know, take the time to make sure it's done right,
Right.
to protect it.
And there's nothing wrong with posting some things on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of making sure that you are not posting the things that you really want to protect.
Yeah.
I understand people want to get notoriety, people want to market themselves, but you have to be very careful about what you're putting out there versus what you want to be able to capitalize on later on.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well,
Kyana
this-
always
I was
comes
about to say,
with some
information.
that-
Information
you can
is so
use.
much, yes, and so much to take in that I'm telling you, share it with your creative friends and then go back and watch it again.
Yes, yes.
Because I promise you missed something the first time.
Tell us how people can get in contact with you.
Yes, well, you can get in contact with me via email at Kyana Robinsons with an S and an N 77@gmail.com, or via telephone at 202-688-7441.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure having you here in the studio with us, and we look forward
Absolutely.
to you coming back and joining us.
Oh, I'll
Because
be back.
you heard her say,
Yes.
she done already coined it, what you gonna be doing.
Yes,
So
we need to
you'll
hear
be
from
back.
you monthly,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
keep everybody posted. You know,
On the
and
changing laws and making sure that people are protecting themselves. Because I'm telling you, somebody heard you, but they're gonna forget. But as always, it's always time flies always when we're having fun. But we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the other side of this break. This is B to the Third Power here on Urban Style Media.
All right.
Coming up on an all-new episode of B3rdPower. The founders of B.L.A.C.K to Life are in the house, sharing with us all about their organization and nationwide community initiatives. Then, intellectual property lawyer Kyana Robinson returns, reminding us on how we can protect our creative works in this new year. An all-new episode starts now.
Welcome back to B3rdPower, and we are on the wrap up.
Man.
Already.
I know.
You know, it
An
really
hour
goes by
flies
so fast.
It really does.
It really
but
does.
I noticed that it goes by even faster when we're sitting here having such a great, easy, flowing conversation.
Really.
It's like time just flies.
Wow. The information you guys got today, this evening, please make sure that you use it.
Yes.
We're bringing you this information so that we can continue to build the community. Make sure that you jump on it. We had B.L.A.C.K to Life, who are giving out free books to the community.
Yes. What I
Free
say,
books.
it's a movement.
It's a movement.
Free books. And they're looking for more men to come in and to help expand the movement.
That's right.
So that not just the babies in D.C. and Dallas, but people nationwide, babies. I say
right.
babies.
Babies.
We always say babies.
The children.
So the children
children.
nationwide can benefit from their program, getting the free books, the teachers with the scholarships. Come on, y'all. We always complain about the school systems, but at the end of the day, what are we doing to uplift them and to help our educators educate our children?
That's right.
So definitely be sure that you reach out to them. Even if you're not a man that's willing to take the torch and open up in another city, please remember to donate to them. I mean, again, we're making a nation. I made them a movement today. They are a nationwide movement.
And it's a movement because like they mentioned, that those keywords they use, that school to prison pipeline is happening all across the country.
Yes.
It's not just happening here in the DMV. It's not just happening in Texas. It's happening all across the country. So yes, this is a movement.
It is.
It is. It really is.
And
we
they're
have to
coming
save our
to
babies.
help. Exactly. Save our babies.
We have
We
to
are
save
so
our
on point with that.
We are on
And
it
then
tonight.
Kyana coming in here and blessing us
Kyana.
with some more knowledge for the creatives and the innovators. Yes, creators, innovators, and inventors.
Yes.
Making sure you guys know how to protect your precious work, those things that come from your creative mind. It is important that you protect what is yours. You don't want people
creating legacies here.
Exactly.
Legacies,
And you want to make sure that it's protected.
That's right.
But as always, it was an amazing show. I'm so sad that the time has flown.
Because you know we love the studio life. I know I do.
We do. Yes, I do.
I know it doesn't often look like it, but I am, guys. I really am. I love it.
I don't know. She just that chill, low back.
Chill.
She chill and low key.
I'm sorry.
But she gets excited from time to time. You see her perk up. It's okay.
I'm here.
Yes, she is.
So we thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
and again, such great information. Be sure to like, share. Wait, don't just like. Be sure to love and share this episode on your pages with other people. Spread the word. Don't just keep the information for yourself. Bless somebody else now. Come on. Somebody needs this information.
Exactly.
And then bless us as we continue to bring you important information, because we are always being intentional,
bridging gaps,
and building community. But as always, it's time for us to sign off and wrap up. But before we go, we just want to remind you today is a great day to make a difference in the lives of those around you. I am Tate.
And I'm Sherri Cook.
And this has been B3rdPower here on Urban Style Media. Y'all have a great week.